during good times, we should maximize every possible resource we have, whether intellectual resource, our extra time, or real estate that we have that we don't bother to lease out or to take care.
Sometimes you've got to run your business even during the pandemic, even how hard it can be, even if you fail, because you've got to make those failures right now during this period. Because when things start to improve and you need to get back on your feet, you need to be conditioned to get back on your feet. If you aren't conditioned because you failed to learn anything during this crisis, then you'll never be able to pick up. So for me, I mean, that there was no real failure that occurred. In fact, we found weak spots in our old business model. We said, okay, it doesn't make sense this way. In fact, it makes better sense now that we go, okay, this actually give us more breathing room to say, okay, if we were doing this in the old normal, we couldn't stop and reset, di ba? But now this is the chance to stop, reset. Okay, itong old practice, pwedeng tanggalin to. Let's leave behind what the best one is and then move forward from there. I think the bigger thing we need to learn, the best thing to learn from this crisis is that what can we create in terms of a business opportunity that will be sustainable and long-term after the crisis is done?
There can be no success without failure. Because failure tells you kung ano ang pwede, ano ang hindi. So failure is not necessarily bad. Diba? It just tells you, oh, yung idea mo, hindi maganda yan. Kaso lang, the reason why people fail is nag-fail ka na nga, pinilit mo pa rin. You want the environment to change, insist on your style, and nag-fail ka na nga. To me, failure is a good thing. It tells you, wag dyan. So in fact, sa akin, itong crisis na to, sabi mo marami nagsara. I always believe storms will test your foundation. Pag may dumating na crisis, it will show kung sino magaling, sino ang hindi.
They're investing in what we call essential franchises. So ano tumataas dito ngayon sa amin? Water refilling, milk tea, laundry, because people can, they have no time to do their laundry. But the LPG is increasing up because people are cooking at home. So we're seeing an increase in these smaller franchises.
Some of the things we should be doing sa crisis, minimize costs, minimize inefficiencies. And during crisis, if we have extra time, we are locked down pa rin somehow in many of our homes and offices. Let us strengthen ourselves intellectually, physically, emotionally, through good health habits, through reading, studying, listening to people like RJ and Dodong and Marvin. Go to the YouTube of Marvin. Study and prepare for the boom times.
And so the way I approach my business always, when business is good, I save a lot. I don't spend when business is good. I save a lot because I know calamities will come. When calamities come naman, I go reverse. I invest this money in the farm preparing for better times because I really believe things will be good. Mabuti lang sinabihan ako ni Wilson, may boom after 2 years and I will prepare for that, no? Pero that's true eh. 'Di ba? I really, in the church they say, oh, the end of the world will come. Ako, ang reaction ko dyan, I wish the end of the world will come para tapos na lahat ng problema natin. Pero if the end does not come and we're not ready for the good times, lugi tayo. I like what si RJ said, di ba? Do not waste a good crisis.
Some entrepreneurs, on good times, either they put everything back into the business or ini-enjoy nila. They don't have a sense of storing cash as well. My question is this. Seeing what you've seen now, kayo, in your own personal capacity, how much of a percentage would you put as a buffer for cash to protect yourself if a crisis like this will happen again? Or at least moving forward, would you set an amount or a percentage na eto dapat yung cash ko, not for your business, but for my personal finances so that I will be okay no matter what happens?
Ako, Marv, I really do not have a percentage. I don't have a number. When I have extra money, I save it and keep it away. Ako kasi I believe in always having just enough. Kasi ang negosyo naman is rolling money, di ba? Sa akin yun lang. I need to roll money. I work with the concept of a plant, di ba? I do not put a lot of money in the business because sometimes when you have a lot of money, there's this temptation to buy many things. Eh. So I have learned to always work with little and then papadamihin ko lang siya. Pag may sobra ako, I will store that away. In fact, when people come to me and ask me to teach them how to do business, ang una kong tanong sa kanila, marami ka bang pera? Pag sabihin na sa akin marami silang pera, sabi ko hindi kita kahit turuan magnegosyo kasi masyado kang maraming pera. Pag konti lang pera mo, I can teach you how to roll it. Kasi ang nangyayari sa akin, na-notice ko, Marv, when you have very little funds, you become creative because wala masyadong resources eh. So I intentionally keep a lot of money away. Layo na natin yan because it would change your attitude eh. So, pag may sobra ako, I keep it away. And then, just enough. Nasaan yung opportunity na hindi ko inaasikaso noon? Like for example, give you an example. I planted a lot of bamboos before. I really did not know what to do with it. And then, because we still use a lot of bamboo, I noticed on the side, many people buy bamboo seedlings. Hindi pinabayaan ko because that's small eh. And so, however, I did a lot of bamboo seedlings, hoping that I will just plant it in the farm. Total, wala naman kayo magawa. Then one day, a person came to me, bought 4,000 seedlings from me. Okay? All of a sudden. And I realized one of the principles that I share, Marv, is true. I would always say, opportunities, they come to those who are ready. When you are ready to take care of them. So ganun, Marv, ganun ako. When I have a lot more cash, I set it aside. I only leave enough for the business. But of course, pag nag-struggle talaga yung business, I take back that cash na itinago ko. I take that, babalik ko yun when the business struggled. However, as much as possible, when I have removed money outside the business, ayoko na siya ibalik. Kasi business can grow money. In every cycle, you can grow money kung tama yung ginawa mo. So, I am more of that person. I would like to always maintain creativity by having very little money. But that doesn't mean we have very little resource, very little money. That's my approach to business.
Got it. Ano yung advantage mo sa amin? Kahit anong mangyari, pwede mo kainin yung tanim mo eh. So, hindi ka magagawa. Something na hindi namin magagawa. Si Wilson, hindi niya makakain yung lahat ng mga buildings niya.
Anyways, marami naman siya tinapay.
Okay, Wilson, go.
Yes. Maganda yung tanong mo, Marvin, and mga kwento niya about cash. Ako naman, this pandemic made me realize one thing. During the good times, I don't believe in keeping cash too much. I always invest in real estate, which is good and which is not good sometimes. Good kasi hindi ko ma-spend talaga kahit na gusto ko. Kasi in the Philippines, we are not like Hong Kong or China or Singapore na the economy is very liquid. I could not forget a tycoon told me sa Hong Kong daw, pag may condo daw siya, anytime he wants to sell the condo in Hong Kong, basta i-discount mo lang, within the day, benta na daw. Sa Philippines, during good times, during bad times, you want to sell a land, you want to sell a house, kahit na discounted na yan, hindi agad magiging cash kasi we are not that liquid pa the economy. So may good and bad yan. Whenever I have cash, I keep looking around for real estate to buy. Ever since the beginning up to now. So may good and bad yan. Good kasi I'm forced to save and I love real estate. Bad sometimes kasi I should siguro put some in stocks like Marvin para may konting cash na immediately ano. So during bad times like this and next year I think the first half, the best people in the world are people with a lot of cash. Ako kasi if I had a lot of cash and I have so much cash, I would be looking for fantastic bargains now. I foresee there will be more bargains of real estate, not all advertised openly. So that's one thing. But I always save no matter what, in what form. I am kuripot ako by nature. Maybe Chinese culture. I'm not Ilocano. Basta mahilig ako mag-save always. So that's one thing. And always I have this mentality of what if the worst happens always. I have this mentality during the best times. I always think, what if my earthquake? What if when I remember when I bought this Kamuning Bakery, the first thing I did, there were two big huge ovens, talagang gigantic old style oven na underutilized. Maybe 10% capacity lang ginagamit of these two massive ovens. Then sinabi ko sa accountant ko, let's put up a small bakery 5 minutes away near my office, near my home office. 5 minutes, let's do a replica of this bakery in a smaller form. Nagtaka-accountant ko, sir, may dalawa kang huge oven dito na ang laki-laki na underutilized by the former owner. Then you will build a small one 5 minutes away. Does it make sense? Ano mo sabi ko sa kanya? Tinanong ko accountant ko and all my staff, and I'm asking the three of you, how many wheels do we have in one car? Ilang gulong sa kotse?
5.
5. Most people will say 4 eh. Sabi ko sa accountant ko, 5. What if something happens, you need the 5th wheel? So that small bakery oven and everything, I put up a replica of it in my office, home office. Dito, may several townhouse ako dito na hindi ginagamit. Binili ko lang across the home office ko. So this entire townhouse, ginawa kong small bakery. Nagtataka ito, accountant, akala that something wrong with my head. Na you have a two massive ovens dito underutilized, and the owner is putting up a new small bakery dito across the street. Sabi niya, weird daw ako. Sabi niya, basta wag ka nang maano. So, the first thing I did, I separated all my old bakers into 2 groups. Dito sa the small one and the other one in the main one. Sabi ko, what if mag-strike sila against the manager, nag-aaway, o baka magkasakit sila, sabay-sabay magkasakit na, di makatabao. And then may maliit pa ako dito, just in case. I never imagine 2 years ago, 2018, nasunog yung buong bakery because of a neighbor. So, kahit na nasunog kami, we were operating non-stop every day. We were selling in the sidewalk of the burnt bakery before. So, I have this mentality always. So, yung tanong mo, do we keep cash? We have to always keep some cash somehow. Not necessarily too much cash. Tama si Dodong, too much cash will tend to make you spend a lot of money. When I was in college, I had only very few cash in my wallet always. Kasi pag may cash ako sa wallet ko, nauubos somehow. I don't know where it goes. Kaya we have to save, but we have to, yun ang thinking ko. And we have to keep saving. Tapos sabi kanina ni RJ, crisis and opportunity, that's one of the favorite sayings of the Chinese culture. There's a Chinese word. The Chinese word for crisis in Mandarin is Wei Ji. Wei, the first character means danger. In Ji, the second character means opportunity. So within that phrase, the crisis, ibig sabihin, for the Chinese traditional mentality, lahat ng crisis may opportunity, may pagkakataon, may danger, may panganib yan. There's something dangerous that will happen there. You have to be strong. Pero look for an opportunity always. So tama yung mentality ng kasama natin dito. Lahat ng crisis may opportunity. We have to look for it, or else somebody else will look for it.
That's it. Amazing. So different perspectives on how you handle cash. And I like what you said that maximum risk, maximum upside also. All right, yeah. RJ Ledesma.
I think the bigger thing that, especially as an entrepreneur, is that much of the investment that we make goes into our businesses. I mean, that's just how we're trained in. And then the additional money that we make, that's what goes into probably other investment tools like the stock market. That's just how we're built, right? So the first thing, when it comes to business, what we realized, I know this is business and personal, no? For the first one is business, is that you have to have at least, during this crisis, it was initially before the crisis, at least have 3 months worth of working capital to make sure that the business can operate. After this crisis is done, parang 6 months na worth is what you need just to keep the lights on. So that changes your financials just a bit, at least as far as I was concerned. And you have to look at where you'll be spending the most. Like, I don't know, kay Dodo probably, I don't know kung pareho tayo, but I think we're all the same. It's really the salaries, which are one of the biggest expenses that we had to take care of at the time. And the others were, I had loans to restructure also because we were expanding the business prior to this one. So, there was a restructuring lang right now. And then, we had a nice plan going back to business right now. But more or less for business, you might need about 3 to 6 months worth of operating expenses mo to keep the business running. Now, personally, what I like to think, RJ Ledesma is also a brand overall with everything else that I do. As you know, I'm not just, I do my business, but as on top of doing my businesses, I'm a serial entrepreneur. On top of my businesses, I am a brand unto myself, meaning that's why I'm a host, right? I host business shows, I host forums, I host weddings, diba? And I host all these different things. I'm a brand ambassador for several things. So that's sort of like, that's my own, there's money for the business where where I give myself a salary, and there's money which I earn for myself, which goes into investment. Plus, because I'm an entrepreneur, you know, sometimes when times are good, times are bad. I don't have Dodong practices this one, but as an entrepreneur, sometimes I have to use money from my own pocket to help subsidize the business when it does bad. But then you make sure that the business pays you back with interest when you when you do that one. But that's just how it's like, and that's how we manage things over here. So aside from making sure that, you know, a larger part, because I feel that, you know, I have to invest in my ideas, because if I don't invest in my ideas, then, you know, how am I going to make it grow? But that you also have to diversify your cash flows or your recurring sources of income. Like for me, if you look at my business, Enter PH is very different from Easy Franchise, is very different from Mercato Central. But I make income from all these different businesses. But you know, they also complement each other, because in the end, when Mercato Central turns into becoming a franchise, I can franchise it out through the Easy Franchise business. And the Enter PH business, which I have, is an entity which helps incorporate businesses in the Philippines. So my new businesses, I also incorporate them through Enter PH. And so, you know, you have different recurring cash flows from different areas. And the thing, like for me also, is that, you know, when I do my hosting jobs and my other jobs, these are all, you know, when times are down for the business, I have income coming in from hosting. And when I'm doing hosting, you know, sometimes when there's no hosting, at least I've got jobs from other areas. So that's, for me, that's what's key. That you don't have just one source of income. You have different places where you're able to generate different recurring cash flow. Ano yung coefficient yan, Marvin, usually in stocks? We try to get where you try to have stocks with different coefficient, which move differently. I try to do businesses where you don't which don't necessarily make, one is making income, one is not making income, but they're different. But at the same time, they all complement each other. My hosting gets me a lot of connections to make my businesses bigger. So it makes sense for me.
I think what you guys are placing a larger preference on is cash flow. As long as may pumapasok, the cash that you have, kahit hindi ganun na siya kalaki, but as long as money keeps coming in, whether it be different sources or not, that's what's keeping you at least sane. Because I've seen a lot of people the past few months that since zero talaga, walang pumapasok, it was harder for them, and that was the whole context of that. And I hope that for all of you watching this is something that's helping you. Comment below if you are learning. Comment, I love RJ, I love Wilson, I love Dodong, if you guys are learning from this. In the past 9 months or during this pandemic, is there a mistake or an opportunity missed in terms of your businesses or in terms of how you did your finances that you would have, sana ito pala ginawa ko? And to those that have made mistakes also, I'm addressing entrepreneurs that you would like to help. What are your, I guess, tips that you would want to leave with them as we enter 2021?
Parang weakness ko, and possibly a mistake na rin, is I keep tending to invest in real estate without utilizing them. I really believe kasi in real estate. Kaya during good times, I keep trying to look for, sabi ko, I keep telling people I'm a broker. I still am a broker, but I'm always essentially looking for things to buy kasi. Kaya whenever I keep investing, and I have a weakness of not utilizing it, not having it leased out and all that. Then now that the economy is not very good worldwide, so nahihinayang ako all these possible incomes ba. So we should not be wasting resources. During good times, that is the weakness that I have to correct. During good times, we should maximize every possible resource we have, whether intellectual resource, our extra time, or real estate that we have that we don't bother to lease out or to take care. And ngayon, mahirap magpa-lease out ng properties anywhere. During good times, I should have locked down all these rentals. Wala pa pakialam. May isang apartment ako na binili near Kamuning Bakery, 4 units, puro lagyan ng libro ko lang. Imagine, galing accountant ko, dinigyan ko lang ng boxes and boxes of books. Sayang yung ganyan. So that is one weakness I have to correct. And maybe I should learn from Marvin, buy some stocks there para hindi lahat real estate. Kasi ang maganda yata sa stocks, anytime you want cash, you can just sell and it's automatic into cash. Parang ATM almost. But not necessarily high and good. So we have to diversify maybe some investments. So yun, wasted opportunity still there. People who wants to lease could contact me. I have some properties for lease. Good for restaurant, good for warehouse, good for offices. Katuwa. That's one thing I have to learn. And also one more thing, the past 9 months pala, I should have written some books or did some more writing or something. Kasi I should have written a short story or a novel that noon kasi I have an excuse na I'm too busy to write, I'm too busy. But in the past 9 months, I should have written 1 or 2 books. I should have written a novel. I should have written more. I should learn maybe 1 or 2 languages. I should be more fit siguro and whatever. Pero hindi pa, we still have the new year to come. So we have to learn from the past.
Before I go to RJ, may sasabihin ako, meron na ako na influence. Dodong Kakanandon, nagsa-stocks na siya. Dati pure business lang ngayon. Natutuwa ako na nagsa-stocks na si Dodong. Okay, anyways, RJ, let's do this.
Great, Marvin. Great work over there. And yeah, that's one of the things that actually, Wilson and I, we were both columnists for the Philippine Star. I was there for 10 years. Yes. And I produced several books from that writing. And, I not that I wished I had time, but, I want to just say something about writing. I love writing so much. I was a UP National Writers Workshop Fellow. I was a Silliman Writers Fellow. I enjoyed the craft of writing. And
dapat i-publish mo na yung works mo before.
Yeah.
Sayang.
The thing lang about you realize your stages lang in life. It's just that writing is such a selfish mistress, because if you start writing, and it's I'm not talking about business writing. I'm talking about creative writing. I mean,
yes.
Because for me, business writing can just flow out 30 minutes, but creative writing is a different process altogether that occupies such a large part of your brain. And during this crisis, I had to dedicate that to making sure that the business and the family survives during this crisis. So yun lang, I mean to say that that's just the realities of life. I mean that Wilson's resonated with me, that he should have written something during this crisis. I feel that right now, as he says that, I should have done the same thing. But then, life is life. And now moving on to failures during the crisis. Now, again, I wear my entrepreneurial hat. And when I wear my entrepreneurial hat, the thing that I always remember as an entrepreneur is that there's really no such thing as a failure in business. It's really, the failure is really an investment in learning. And I have to say that there were a lot of failures that we had during this particular crisis, but the failures only helped spotlight what we needed to do to iterate and innovate the business to bring it where it is right now. The biggest failure is that if you don't learn from what you were doing wrong, or sometimes your business was already running. I'm sure Dodon can appreciate this one. The business was running, but when crisis occurs, the silver linings, you realize, mali pala yung ginagawa ko dito, or it wasn't efficient enough, or the business model wasn't just right, that I have to change it. I go back to what I said to you in my earlier interview with you from the CEO of Phoenix. He was saying, sometimes you've got to run your business even during the pandemic, even how hard it can be, even if you fail, because you've got to make those failures right now during this period. Because when things start to improve and you need to get back on your feet, you need to be conditioned to get back on your feet. If you aren't conditioned because you failed to learn anything during this crisis, then you'll never be able to pick up. So for me, I mean, that there was no real failure that occurred. In fact, we found weak spots in our old business model. We said, okay, it doesn't make sense this way. In fact, it makes better sense now that we go, okay, this actually gave us more breathing room to say, okay, if we were doing this in the old normal, we couldn't stop and reset, di ba? But now this is the chance to stop, reset. Okay, itong old practice, pwedeng tanggalin to. Let's leave behind what the best one is and then move forward from there. I think the bigger thing we need to learn, the best thing to learn from this crisis is that what can we create in terms of a business opportunity that will be sustainable and long-term after the crisis is done. Because many people, if you're very opportunistic, which is not bad, no? I'm not saying it's bad, but siyempre, nung una, magbebenta sila, what do people try to make money on? The arbitrage of face masks and gloves and face shields at the start of this crisis, right? Because that's easy money, di ba? But after this one, 9 months down the road, are there still people profiting massively from that? I don't think so, right? So what you need to put your effort into right now is thinking, okay, what's sustainable long term right now? What can we do in terms of e-commerce, if that's the way that you want to do it? What can you do in terms of logistics? What can you do in terms of addressing longer term health needs? I mean, start looking for those larger opportunities that you can create that will generate recurring income. And that's what I want people to really look into in this crisis. I'm doing the same thing right now. That's what I'm looking into in terms of a business, and that's why I want people to take things right now.
Very, very insightful. I like what you said. No, what you do during the failure, that those are learnings that will help you to become bigger, better, stronger. Okay, lastly, Dodong, Fernando.
Ako, Marv, sa failure, I started with basically nothing, no? Container van, beer and land. And when I came to Bukidnon, I had the mindset of a corporate executive, and you start to risk, and mama started to lose money. When I learned my lesson, I started to shift to this concept of the Japanese, yung plan, do, check, act. So in order to manage my failure, I've always been testing all my concepts in small scales. And then I would scale up pag maganda. Pag pangit, I immediately abandon. So over time, yun ang style ko na the failure now are, nag-fail ako, but on a smaller scale, and then I change, and then just scale up things when maganda na. And then I'd still do the same. I'll test, scale up, I'll test, I'll scale up. So that has helped us manage the failure. And tama si RJ, I agree. Failure is a good teacher. In fact, in one of my, I wrote something recently na sabi, YouTube ko na pinilit mo ko, okay? Diba, I said, there can be no success without failure. Because failure tells you kung ano ang pwede, ano ang hindi. So failure is not necessarily bad. Diba? It just tells you, yung idea mo hindi maganda yan. Kaso lang, the reason why people fail is nag-fail ka na nga, pinilit mo pa rin. You want the environment to change, insist on your style, and nag-fail ka na nga. To me, failure is a good thing. It tells you, wag dyan. So in fact, sa akin, itong crisis na to, sabi mo marami nagsara. I always believe storms will test your foundation. Pag may dumating na crisis, it will show kung sino magaling, sino ang hindi. So yung nagsara lang, it was just showing them, mali yung ginagawa mo. Kaya lang sila nagsara because they insisted on what they were doing. They should have pivoted and changed, di ba? And learn from it. Storms are not bad. It will expose your foundation. It will test your ideas. So dapat lang tayo nag-respond immediately. Mali, baguhin natin. Kaso lang some people feel bad. Uy, nagkamali. And they feel so bad. They become depressed.
Parang pinapersonal, di ba, Dodo? Parang the failure is my failure in life, eh. Di ba? Sometimes you use the separate failure in business. It's not the same as failure in life also, eh. Di ba?
Sa akin nga, RJ, even failure in life is just telling you, mali yung ginawa mo. So, baguhin mo. So, to me, failure is a feedback mechanism. I was listening to one person talk in a Zoom meeting. Sabi niya, I don't like failing. So, I go to the Bible, I study, I pray so that I will not fail. But even God allows you to fail.
That's right.
To show you na mali yung ginagawa mo. So,
God makes you fail a lot of times. The Israelites failed so many times.
So sa akin yun lang sana maintindihan ng tao during this crisis. This crisis exposed people's weaknesses and strength. So pag napakita na medyo may weakness ka, change. Because the crisis should not close you. The crisis should not be bad. In fact, it is good showing you. Tama si RJ, sabi niya, show them kung ano ang maganda, ano hindi. In fact, you will notice during this crisis, marami nagtanggal ng expenses, na-realize na pwede pala yung 50 tao, pwede gawin ng 20. So it exposed many good things. So if you just have a mindset that would say that the crisis will show me what is wrong and what is good, continue with what is good, stop what is wrong, and then you will not close. So yun ang belief ko, Marvin. The crisis should be good for everybody. Tells you kung ano dapat hindi mo gawin. You take up business, you take up entrepreneurship in school, and you feel you're ready. However, in school, you only learn theories. And most of the time, you learn theories from people who do not even have businesses.
Yes,
they give
that's
you-
true. That's true.
But they give you all this idea na this will work, which will not, di ba? So you just have to, I'm not saying school is bad. I'm just saying when you go after school, you go, you try, you fail, pero don't feel bad. Because it just tells you ano ang tamang theory, ano ang hindi.
Many failures come from failure, desperation, innovation. Bumago ka. That's really how it's like.
Lessons we will never learn from success. That's one thing I learned. Crisis and failures give us priceless lessons we will never encounter during success. Maganda nga kung bata tayo, then we encounter failures early para we will not repeat them when we're old already. Yeah.